Okay, here we have the Twister Dehuller. This is an abrasion type dehuller. It is available from us at Commodity Traders International. It is originally designed to dehull buckwheat and keep the groat intact, but today we are going to be using it on Sainfoin forage seed. I have a couple of samples here that we're going to be going over and running through this dehuller. This is a 2 horsepower dehuller. It can be set up in either single phase or 3-phase power. It has a VFD to control the rotation of the stones. So we'll be using that. And the process is pretty simple. We feed the Sainfoin in the hopper up here. It runs through the stones and then it's discharged out 2 spouts below. Both spouts are the same, and then we can combine those together and run them through a aspirator, which we will do to remove the holes, and we will show you the finished product. So stick around. We're going to be running this through this dehuller, and we will take you along and show you the results. When you harvest Sainfoin seed, it comes in with this rough pod around it, and the pod accounts for about 30% of the seed's total weight. Removing the hull is necessary to maximize the nutritional value of the seed for food and feed. It's extremely good for the honeybee. The honeybees strongly prefer Sainfoin because it's an exceptional source of both nectar and pollen, attracting a high density of bees and producing a superior quality honey. Studies have shown that Sainfoin can attract 10 times more bees than white clover. The pink snowy flowers secrete nectar and pollen, making them a prime foraging destination that bees will often prioritize over other available nectar sources. If you're going to plant Sainfoin, you should plant it in early spring after the ground has warmed, or in late summer/early autumn before the first hard frost. Spring planting is often the best for establishment, but fall planting can work if you allow enough time for the plants to root before winter. Okay, so here we have the dehuller running. I have it running at 60 hertz on the speed. This is the maximum speed. I found that to be the best. I tested it at low speed and medium speed and high speed ended up being the best. The way we track the distance between the 2 stones inside the dehulling chamber is by measuring the amount of threads that are sticking out here. This adjustment adjusts the gap of the stones. You turn it clockwise to raise the stone and counterclockwise to lower the stone. When you lower it, it brings them closer together. When you raise it, it increases the gap. I currently have it set on 1.25 inches. This is what did the best job in the quickest amount of time with minimal seed damage. So we're going to go ahead and run this sample through and we will show you the results. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce the Sainfoin into the hopper. Basically feeding it at a steady rate. I don't want to overfeed it because I want it to do a good job for the customer. I did some rough calculations and I estimate the capacity to be at approximately 275 pounds per hour on this Sainfoin. I think you could increase that and push it a little harder, but that gives you an idea of what the capacity would be. See it discharging below. I want to say one of the best processes I have found is to run it through this machine and then go use an aspirator to pull out the seeds that have the hull still on them, and then you could run those back through this machine and go after the seed that is dehulled right away. That seems to be the quickest and the most effective way to process this Sainfoin seed. I tried running it through twice right away to see if I could knock the remaining seeds in the hull out of the hull before going to further processing, and I found that it was better to just take it in and use an aspirator to pull those that remain in the hull out, and then you could send those back to this machine for processing. Okay, so this is showing the final results coming out of the dehuller. You can see you have your yellow seeds there, then you have your green seeds right there, and then you have your hulls. A lot of these hulls are empty, so we could suck these out with the aspirator. But I kind of wanted to show you what we're getting. I consider the yellow to be seed damage. That's where it maybe got a little too aggressive. And the green is perfect. If I can get them as many green as possible, that's what we're aiming for. So obviously there's going to be some seed damage. This is an abrasion type dehuller. I would be interested in running a sample like this through an impact huller, but I don't have one of those set up to test with today. Okay, so now we're moving on to the next step in processing. We have the dehulled Sainfoin in the hopper of the Carter-Day fractionating aspirator. This is going to act like the top air on your seed cleaner. It's going to remove the lightweight hulls and leave in the heavy compartment your seed that still has the hull on it and the fully dehulled seed. Okay, so here you can see the unit running. Your lightest fraction is over here. These are your two middlings, and then the heaviest is what's falling below. So I'm going to go ahead and run this through. Again, it's like the top air on your seed cleaner. You could then take this sample, the heavy cut, and you could run this over a scalp screen, and it'll scalp off the seeds with the hull still on them. And then that's what you would take back to your dehuller back out in the shop. Okay, here you can see the results after the test sample has been ran through the aspirator. Over here is the heaviest cut. This is what you would now run through a cleaner and scalp off the seeds that are still remaining in the hull. There is some lightweight hulls and some seeds still in the hull in this cut. These other two cuts here are basically just hulls. There's not a lot of seed there. This would probably be taken for a different type of processing, possibly for composting or another type of process. So now we're going to work with this cut over here, and I'm going to show you what screen I'm going to use for scalping off the seeds still in the hull. Okay, the screen I have found to work the best to remove the seed still in the hull is a 7.5 by 3/4 slot. The only problem is it tends to hang up on the screen, so perhaps if your cleaner had adjustable pitch to maximize the pitch and screen cleaning brushes or ball trays to keep the screens clean, I think this is going to be crucial for cleaning this seed. So anyway, I'm going to try to show you, I'm going to try to do this one-handed, I'm going to try to show you, I'm shaking it, and you can see when I tilt it, it kind of wants to hang up. You can kind of see what it's doing. Just wanting to show you what I'm running into here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how it looks underneath the screen. Okay, so here we have the final results. You can see there is still a minimal amount of seed in the hulls in the sample. There's some yellow. If I had to estimate, I would say the yellow is probably about 15% and 85% of the green. Just to kind of give you a rough idea, you could have a multiple screen cleaner and further screen this to get better results. But this is showing one pass through each machine what you can expect. Okay, so now you can see the results of the test. We have the seed over here. We have the seed still in the hull here. This is what would be sent back through the dehuller, possibly with the stones closer together just slightly to get it out. And run that through, and then you'd start the process over again. Okay, so this should give you an idea of how to process Sainfoin. Another name for this crop is holy hay. It is a plant long recognized for its extraordinary palatability and health benefits. This forage was primarily grown for horses prior to the industrialization of agriculture. It kind of fell out of popularity, but has recently experienced a rebirth, as scientists from all over the world have recognized its unique ability to resist drought and draw nutrients from deep in the earth to nourish grazing animals. One of the many advantages of this type of legume seed is that it has a low sugar and starch content, making it a healthy option for grazing animals. Thank you for watching. This concludes the video about how to process Sainfoin seed.